Every time I turn around, they talking about me. Every time I turn around, they talking about me, talking about me. Every day I wake up knowing that somebody's gonna try and bring me down. But I don't let it stop me. It only makes me stronger every time I turn around. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Miss T here, coming at you with another video. Today, I will be doing a story time. So, I just been stalling to do this story. I mean, I'm not like, I'm very, very blessed. Oh my God, let's just say that. I'm very blessed. I will just, it's been some months, but it's still kind of touchy or whatever. But I'm truly blessed. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a story time on how I lost my sight. Which we are going to just get right into this story time because it's crazy. Was in the house cleaning, and to be honest, my dad's girlfriend has a seeing eye dog, and I'm severely allergic to dogs, and so I was trying to brush the dog hair off of something, and I just remember brushing the hair off, and then all of a sudden it felt like something was in my eye. So I kind of brushed it off, just thought some dust or something. At first it was just like, okay, whatever, something got in my eye. I didn't think nothing of it, but then I started thinking because it kept bothering me for a while, and I'm like, oh my God, please don't tell me I got dog hair in my eye and I'm having an allergic reaction, because my vision started getting blurry. And then after that, it was like, oh my God, what is going on? So I already have a visual impairment. I don't see out of my right eye. My left eye is pretty okay. I can't see far distance or whatever. But it's like, okay, what is going on? My vision is blurry. But then I already supposed to be taking drops. So I started taking my drops, and that would help. Like, it would make things brighter and clearer, but then after a while, after the drop set in and all of that, it just went back to being somewhat blurry, and I'm like, okay, this is not normal at all. And so it was like, what is really going on? So a couple weeks went by. I ended up finally calling the doctor, and I went to see the doctor, and ended up, there was a hair in my eye, but it wasn't a dog hair. It was actually my eyelash that kept going in and out of my eye. And so the doctor plucked that eyelash, and then she ended up plucking another one because she couldn't tell if she got the right one, but she felt like she didn't. So she went back. And so then it was like, okay, it feels pretty okay. It feels better, but not complete. And of course, because it's been in there for so long, it just had irritated my eye. So didn't think anything of it. Left the doctors, did the ointment and the drops like she told me. A couple more weeks went by, and it's just like, okay. First off, my vision got clear. Then at one point it started getting even more blurry, and I'm like, okay, what is really going on? And I didn't know what to do. I'm just like, and I like I said, I started the drop, which was actually no, I started the drop before I went to the doctor. Because when I called, they told me to start the drop, an artificial tear. That's what it was called. An artificial tear, to see if it would settle my eye and be okay, because they thought it was just, what did they say? They thought it was dry. So, without even me going in, they thought it was dry eye. So it was like, okay, yeah, it's not helping. So after a while, it just kept getting worse and worse. And I'm like, oh, this is not, I'm just so scared. It got to the point where I had to actually be guided around because I literally could see everything in front of me, but it was so blurry to the point where I didn't know where something began and where something ended. And so it was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So after a while, it was just like, wait a minute. It got way more blurry when I started this artificial tear. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop it. I literally called back to the doctor's office and got another appointment. Like a couple days before my appointment, I realized, well, maybe it's the artificial tear. Maybe I'm having an allergic reaction. Okay, so stop the drop. Literally a couple days later, my vision started clearing up a little bit. Not completely. Then, it was just like, what is really, 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 really going on? I'm scared. I don't want to lose my last eye. This and that. I already know how hard it is to get help without, having one eye. I already know how hard it. Can't drive. Can't do certain stuff. And I already know how hard it is. So I know it's going to be even harder. Trust me, it's doable though. It is very much doable. My dad has no sight, and he raised me and my brother. So it's very much doable. And my grandmother, she pretty much had little to no sight. She had a little bit of sight, but she raised her 6+. We're not even gonna get into how many she raised, and paralyzed on top of that. So it's possible, but it was just like, what is really going on? I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I literally went into the doctor's the next time, my next appointment, and literally had those people tell me, oh, I don't know if it's the drop. Your pressure is high, so it might be that. I mean, they literally was not listening to me, and I'm like, but I'm telling you that I literally stopped this drop a couple days ago and my vision cleared up a little bit. So can you tell me, how is that not correlating together? Come on, that might not be the right thing to say, but I'm just like, how is that not matching up? I don't understand it. Then the actual doctor comes in. She was like, there is a possibility that you could be allergic to the nutrients in the drop, but when she looked at my eyes, there was something else she saw that she didn't see the last time. Now, mind you, I was not seeing my regular doctors. I was seeing someone else because my doctors, one was out of the country and the other one was unavailable. So I was seeing their colleague. So it was just so scary to like, she's like, and the fact that I actually saw her prior, she knows what she saw last time versus this time. And it was like, okay, what is going on? Please tell me. And so she was like, oh, it's a possibility, but this is not what I saw last time. And I'm like, what do you mean this is not what you saw last time? So, come to find out, she ended up calling a retina specialist. It was a lot. And again, both of my doctors were out of contact. One was out of the country. The other one, I don't even know where he was, but he was not at the doctor's office. That's all I know. So, I ended up seeing someone else that was not my doctor. She couldn't figure out what she was seeing. Is this piece of my lens that kind of broke off or what? She couldn't tell exactly what she was looking at, basically. So she had to get somebody else to look. And it was so frustrating because I'm like, y'all scare me. What is really going on? So After sitting in that room, the original first room that I was in, I ended up having to go back on the other side of the eye clinic to see a whole nother doctor, because the two doctors that saw me couldn't figure it out. So I had to go see another doctor. So I had all these people looking at my eyes and this and that. Then I got the bad news. Basically, my lens had detached. It was already hanging on by a thread. It detached. I have no retina. Okay. I have no retina, but my lens was literally hanging on by a thread. It slid to the back of my eye and basically exploded. That's how I was explained it. And I was like, what does this mean? So basically, I'm seeing black dots and I'm seeing a whole bunch of fog coming from the exploded lens. And it was just like, oh my gosh, what is really going on? Then my pressure was through the roof, which my pressure was like a 75, and I found out that the normal pressure for an adult is like between 16 and 20. So yeah, and everybody was wondering why I wasn't having any headaches. Didn't even know. And I'm like, are you serious? So immediately they started talking surgery. Now this is where it got kind of very emotional, because I was not for surgery at all. At all. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. I'm sorry. I am still very emotional about this, because it's like, I'm very, very blessed, because everybody around me that I know went through, well, not everybody, but my brother lost his sight from surgery, and my dad lost his sight at a young age, like 30 something, I believe that's what he said. But it was just like kind of crazy, because I'm sitting in there as they're telling me, you're going to need surgery, you're going to need emergency surgery, and I'm like, emergency surgery? When I tell you, I burst into tears, no doubt. Literally, they were talking 2 surgeries, and they wanted to do them both. And one, I was just not for it at all. Literally not for it at all. I ended up, when I was younger, I got a pressure surgery, which was to reduce the pressure in my eye. That's how I lost my right eye, which I got a tube inserted, and it didn't end well. So when that was brought up, it literally just was over. I was hysterically crying in the office. And somebody that has been around since I was a kid, since I first started going to Shan's eye clinic, it was just like, she came in, she was consoling me and everything, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not I don't want this. I don't want to have to lose my eye. And it was just like, I just can't. And she was like, everything is going to be okay. You'll get through it. They'll do the best they can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And we don't know your fate. We don't know what's going to happen. And it was just like, I don't want to hear any of this. I really don't. Because, listen, I don't want to hear it. So when she walked out, it was just like, okay, I tried to stop crying. And then eventually, the other doctor, the second doctor that originally saw me, she was in there and she was checking in, and they were doing some drops to try to lower my pressure. And they were waiting on they were trying to contact my actual doctors. And so I had so much going through my head. I called my dad. I called my dad. I called my aunt to get advice because I didn't know what to do. They were expecting me to give an answer before the end of the day, before I left. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's just like, what? So one of the doctors, she was like, well, maybe we can do the one surgery where we just pretty much clear out the fluff, basically, is what the fog I was seeing, and the particles, which was the black dots I was seeing. And she was like, maybe we don't have to do the second surgery. And I'm like, okay. She was like, you don't necessarily have to do it right away, but we do have to get the fluff and the particles out because you'll lose your sight eventually if we don't get that out. And so it was like, oh my gosh. And then they were like, it could affect way more than just my sight. And I was like, by then, all of this was hurting. All of this was hurting because I had cried. It was just a lot. So I ended up calming down after the doctor had talked to me. And then the other doctor, the last doctor I saw, he ended up coming in and he told me that he talked to my doctors and they were like, we have to do emergency surgery ASAP. And he was like, I can get you in tomorrow. And I'm like, whoa. That's just too soon. I have 2 kids. I have to figure out what to do with. I can't do it that soon. He was like, if you can't do it tomorrow. And it was just like, it was not funny at the time, but now it is, because it's like, wait a minute. Hold up. Y'all got to hold up. Slow down. So I ended up not going the next day, and I will never forget it. It was a Wednesday. It was a Tuesday, but they wanted to do the surgery that Wednesday. And I was like, no, I can't do it tomorrow. I cannot. I have to figure out where my kids are going to be. I have to figure out who's going to have my kids, this and that. And he was like, well, we can get you in on Friday. And I'm like, and he was like, but we can't go past Friday. And I'm like, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm like, okay, fine. It's okay. Well, actually, I don't even think it was it a Friday? Because now that I think about it, yeah, I think it was a Friday, and then I had to go back to, yeah. Okay, so I ended up having the surgery that Friday, and I was so terrified. I was so terrified. And I ended up waking up. I literally, this is the thing. All I remember was kissing Anala goodbye because Zariah was at school, and they were gonna, my dad's girlfriend was gonna get Zariah off the bus. And so everything was all set out or whatever. And a friend of ours took me to the surgery, and she had my daughter. Oh, she had Anala. And so it was just like, oh, gosh, I'm not ready for this. I'm not. I don't know if I could do it. But then ended up, I remember kissing Anala goodbye, and in the then them wheeling me off to the operating room, and I just remember laughing because the anesthesiologist, I wish I could remember the joke she made, but it was funny because I started laughing and she was like, gotcha, good, I got you to laugh, I'm gonna give you the good drugs. And I'm like, okay. But it was crazy because I I have high blood pressure, and so one of the last things I remember was them putting those little leg massagers on my legs, and after that I don't remember anything besides waking up, and actually they were trying to wake me up, and I'm just like, eh. I was like literally, whoo. I do not like being drugged. I don't like it at all. It's not a good feeling for me at all. So for me to be drugged, it was just like, it was kind of crazy because I literally can't, I come down off of drugs very slow. So it's like, I don't like it because it's a drag. It's a long drag, and I'm very sensitive to high dose medications or narcotics, shall I say. And so when I woke up, I'm like, they were trying to, I don't know, I don't remember what he was doing, but basically he was trying to, they had ended up coming in, but before he came in, when they were wheeling me out to go home, I was like, I was peeking through the little mask, and I'm like, I can see. I don't remember, but I know for sure that when one of the doctors came in to open my patch and try to put his fingers in front of my face and see if I saw him. As soon as he took it off, I was like, I can see you. I will never forget that. I literally was like, I can see you. And it was so dragged because it was just like, And literally even hours after I left the operation center, I literally was, I still couldn't walk for a while. So I had to get help to the bathroom and all of this, and then I ended up going to the doctor. Did I go that weekend? No, I went that Saturday. I went Saturday to the doctor's and got my patch off, and I got my patch off, and they gave me my all my 50 million drops that I had to take, and it was so painful. When I tell you it was painful, those drops hurt, and I literally cried with some of them. But I got through it. The next time I went to the doctor, which was that next Tuesday for a follow-up, got some more bad news. My pressure ended up, it was good when I left the that Saturday. When I left the doctor's that Saturday, ended up having to go back for when I went back for my follow-up, I ended up, my pressure skyrocketed again. And it was just like, what is really, I don't want to have to go through this again. So ended up still having to get the other surgery, which was the surgery with the tubes. By then, my doctor was back. Actually, no, I'm sorry. My doctor was already back for the first surgery. Both of them was back. I forgot. Both of them was back because they both did my surgeries. They actually worked together and did my surgeries. And then that next Tuesday, I ended up having to go back for the second surgery Wednesday, to the point where everybody recognized me. And then, mind you, both my daughters have visual impairments also. And so it was just like, they remembered us from when my daughter had to get her eye exam under anesthesia. Because at certain ages they can't get an accurate eye exam when they're awake because they're not cooperative, so they have to put them to sleep. So Zariah went to the same place to get her eye exam as I did my surgery. And so it was just like everybody, a lot of people already knew us. So it was like, hey, you're back. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. Not wanting to be back, but I'm back. So then after that, it was like, okay, this time around, I don't even remember getting, I kind of remember getting wheeled to the back, but I don't. They gave me some stuff to, I don't even know what they gave me, but they gave me some medication to relax before I even got to